What was your overall grade for your defense?
I thought we played pretty good. In the first ball game, I don't want to talk too much about that ball game because we're going forward. But I thought we played pretty good. If they hadn't popped that run, I would have felt really good about it.
What happened on that run?
We just didn't fit quite right, and they hit one, and we just didn't react as well as we need to.
Charlie was very complimentary of Bradley McDougal's talent. Have you been real impressed with him?
Yeah, I think Bradley's a good football player. He's athletically what you're looking for. He can catch, he can run, he's tough. He's pretty instinctive, and he's got experience. So at this point in time, I would say he's one of our better players and has a chance to have a good year.
Good career too in football?
We don't know that. We've got to see how he plays this year.
How important is it for guys to get out and see a little bit of that spread, a team that runs that, because that's the kind of offense they're going to see when we get into the Big 12?
Yeah, this is a good test for us. I think they're a good football team. They can be explosive. And that's the type of team we're going to face every week. So for us, this is a really good challenge and a good test, and we'll kind of see where we're at after this ball game, in my opinion, defensively.
What about your pass rush? How's that coming along?
I thought we rushed the passer pretty good. I think we're still continuing to do a few different things to help the pass rush, but like I've said before, I think if we can get to guys with four-man rush, that's what we're going to do.
Do you feel pretty confident you can do that after watching on Saturday?
I felt we did pretty well. I think we've got some guys that have some talent, and we just have to utilize it.
What about with Rice, with the guy that can quarterback and pull that ball in and get around that corner pretty fast? I mean, do you have to sit back a little bit? Do you have to bring your defense back and kind of?
No, I think we just have to make sure that we take care of our lane of responsibility. Obviously in the running game, we've got to have good gap control. We've got to make sure that we know who's got the quarterback, who's got the pitch if they run an option. They put the pressure on you that way. But as far as the scrambling part of it, we just have to make sure our lane integrity is good, and and we play with a lot of zone eyes and see when he takes off.
Coach, I know you and your staff have been obviously emphasizing turnovers, just probably like every staff does everywhere. But what's the result of getting 5 in a game? I mean, what can that do for a team, especially so early?
Well, I hope we do that every week. If we do, I think we'll feel pretty good about it. It was good. And really, to be honest with you, the kid that, obviously that kid was a little hurt, the kid that came in,
sure.
The quarterback, and didn't practice probably as much as he needed to, but he's a pretty good thrower. And I thought we pressured him enough to make some plays, and our guys caught the football, which, usually the DBs are guys that were receivers at one time they can't catch. So, we were very pleased with that. I think that's a direct result of what we've talked about all along about getting to the football and making sure that we're around it, because you never know. One of them was a tip ball, and we got the interception on it. Those are the kind of things that we have to do. And if we're going to be as good a football team as we hope we can be, that's one of the things that we stress all the time.
Can you talk about Bradley McDougal? I mean, he got just a huge game for himself, pretty much equaled his interception total from last season. What were your thoughts on that?
I think Bradley, like I said, is a good football player. I think he's a guy that's kind of a leader for us because he's got experience, and he's a guy that has the athletic talent to go along with the experience. Sometimes you got experience, but it doesn't equate to being a good football player. This kid has got instincts, and he's got the ability to make plays, and that's, again. The biggest stat in football is turnovers. The team that wins a turnover battle, it goes up excrementally with the number that you win by. You win by 3, you got a better chance to win than you win if you win by 2. So we need playmakers, and he's one of the guys that can do that for us.
Is a guy like Sam McGuffey tricky for you guys to cover it all? I mean, he's dangerous.
Well, he's dangerous in a lot of ways because he's a running guy as well as a receiver. So they can put him out there as a receiver, and they can bring him back in the backfield, and they can run their option attack, and he carries the ball. He can run reverses with him. I mean, the guy's a good football player. I think he's very, very dangerous, and he's one of those guys that every time he touches the football, he tries to make it a home run. Sometimes it gets him in trouble. Sometimes he'll lose some yardage, at times. He's one of those guys that'll start a reverse one way and then stop and go all the way back the other way. Well, sometimes that's bad for him, but sometimes that's good for him too, because you have to be disciplined in what we do defensively.
How do you contain him?
I think you just, obviously those guys are all, we just got to make sure we've got good eyes and we know where guys are, and we take care of our own responsibility. Most of the time, guys, the game is about you. It's not about them. If you take care of your business and you know where you're supposed to be, and you know you've got the quarterback, and you know you've got the pitch, and we do that, then it comes down to, are they better athletes than you are? And that's what we have to try to, do every week.
How do you feel about team speed overall in defense? I mean, you watch the guy with a long run. There's a lot more that goes into that than just straight line speed. But how do you feel about speed?
Yeah, I was a little disappointed in that one, to be perfectly honest with you. And that's one of the things that I think playing in space in this league, you've got to have some guys that can run and some guys that can make tackles in the open field. So for me to not say that wasn't a concern, it is a concern. But at the same time, sometimes when you pop a run straight down the field, guys don't have an opportunity to really use angles. And I don't think we had good angles on that play. We just weren't. It wasn't a good play defensively. So, am I expecting that to happen every week? No, I'm not. I mean, I think we've got good enough speed to compete, and then we'll have to go from there.
How does your dynamic work as far as you're up in the booth, and then who are you calling down to the field? Are you?
Well, all the guys are on the phones, and we have a signal caller. We've got a couple of signal callers signaling at the same time, so that we can't. This is a notorious signal stealing league. That's why those guys always stand there on offense and they look at the coaches, and the coaches tell them what to run. So we have a couple of different ways of doing it. We've got a numbering system. We've got signals. We've got dummy signals. We got all kinds of stuff. But so I'm just calling the defenses and somebody's signaling them in.
Do you prefer to be upstairs, or would you rather be down on the sideline? Or?
It's better for me to be upstairs.
Yeah.
I feel like, whenever I've been a coordinator anywhere, I've been upstairs.
Right.
And I think that's because it takes away the excitement of the game. You can see a little better, but more importantly, it takes, for me, I'm a very upbeat kind of a guy, and sometimes the game can get you, to where you're thinking about three other plays when you're supposed to be thinking about the next play. So it really calms me down quite a bit. And so the only way I would do that, though, is if I had confidence on the guys on the field to talk to the team. And I've got good coaches down there, and Clint Bowen, has called a game in the Orange Bowl in a top 5 defense. So I feel pretty comfortable with our guys on the field.
Coach, you gonna watch any football tonight?
You know what? I just had the game. I just walked into my office and it was just starting, and Dallas got a 3-and-out. So hey, that's good.